understand the scope of the conflict, you need to understand that Mohammed Merah was a man of the West. My name's Howard Real, and this is Real Truth. You're listening to the American Freedom Network, streaming live around the world at AmericanNewsNet.com, and on Facebook and on YouTube, and in the book Real Truth, Stay Angry. And of course, as always, broadcasting out across the Colorado Front Range on KHNC, Johnstown, Colorado, 1360 AM The Lion. Our call-in number, 877-254-7524. Item from Caroline Glick at the Jerusalem Post. The massacre of Jewish children at the Ozar HaTorah Jewish Day School in Toulouse presents us with an appalling encapsulation of the depraved nature of our times, although at first glance the opposite seems to be the case. On the surface, the situation was cut and dry. A murderer drove up to a Jewish school and executed 3 children and a teacher. Led by French President Nicolas Sarkozy, all of France decried the massacre and announced its solidarity with the French Jewish community. World leaders condemned the crime. The killer died in a standoff with French security forces. Justice was served, case closed. But dig a little deeper and it becomes clear that justice has not been served. Indeed, it hasn't even begun to be addressed. The killer, Mohammed Merah, was not a lone gunman. He wasn't even one of the lone jihadists we hear so much about. He had plenty of accomplices, and not all of them were Muslims. An analysis of the nature of his crime and the identity of his many accomplices must necessarily begin with the question, why did Merah videotape his crime? Why did he take the trouble of strapping a video camera to his neck and filming himself chasing 8-year-old Miriam Monsonego through the school courtyard and shooting her 3 times in the head? Why did he document his execution of Rabbi Jonathan Sandler and his 2 little boys, 3-year-old Gabriel and 6-year-old Aryeh? The first answer is because Merah took pride in killing Jewish children. Beyond that, he was certain that millions of people would be heartened by his crime. By watching him shoot the life out of Jewish children, they would be inspired to repeat his actions elsewhere, and he was surely correct. Millions of people have watched the 2002 video of Daniel Pearl being decapitated. Similar decapitation videos of Western hostages in Iraq and elsewhere have also become runaway internet sensations. Led by Youssef Fofana, the Muslim gang in France that kidnapped and tortured Ilan Halimi to death in 2006, also took pictures of their handiwork. Their photographs were clearly imitations of the photos that Pearl's killers took of him before they chopped his head off. The pride that jihadist murderers take in their crimes is not merely manifested in their camera work. U.S. Army Major Nidal Malik Hassan, who massacred 13 U.S. servicemen at Fort Hood in 2009, showed obvious pride in his dedication to jihad. Hassan gave a presentation to his colleagues justifying jihad. He carried business cards in which he identified himself as SOA, Soldier of Allah. Similarly, Naveed Haq, the American Muslim who carried out the attack on the Seattle Jewish Federation building in 2006, murdering 1 woman and wounding another 5, bragged to his mother and friend about his crime and monitored telephone calls from jail. Haq boasted that he was a, quote, jihadi, and that his victims deserved to die because they were, quote, Israeli collaborators. The exhibitionism common to all the men's behavior makes it obvious that their attacks were not the random actions of isolated crazy people or lone extremists. All these killers were certain that they were part of a global movement that seeks the annihilation of the Jews, the subjugation of the Western world, and the supremacy of jihadist Islam. And they were convinced that their actions served the interests of this movement and that they would be viewed as heroes by millions of their fellow Muslims for their killing of innocents. The situation is bad enough on its own, but what makes it truly dangerous are the West's responses to it. Those responses, together with the crimes themselves, expose the depraved and perilous nature of our times, and they show that Merah's death can bring no closure to this story. There are 5 interrelated aspects to the West's response to these crimes and the jihadist reality they expose. The first aspect of the West's response is denial. Time after time, Merah and his ilk throughout the Western world show us who they are and what they want. And time after time, the Western elites and even much of the Jewish leadership turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to their crimes of murder and calls for the destruction of Western civilization, unquote. Related item from Jihad Watch. Authorities investigating France's deadly shooting rampage have released the mother of the Islamist fanatic blamed for the killings, but were questioning his older brother to determine whether he served as an accomplice, officials said Saturday. Mohammed Mullah, who claimed allegiance to Al-Qaeda, died in a hail of gunfire Thursday after a dramatic 32-hour standoff with police at his apartment in Toulouse. At one point, police brought his mother to the scene, but she refused to urge her son to surrender, officials said. Related item also from Jihad Watch. The older brother of the Toulouse gunman who killed 7 people in France said he was proud of Mohammed Mullah's action, police said Saturday. Abdul Qadir Mullah admitted being present when the scooter used in the killings was stolen, even though he claimed he knew nothing of the brother's criminal intentions. Unquote. My friends, we are dealing here with a clash of civilizations, and I don't care how many politicians tell you that there is no such clash. We've got the Islamic world bent on domination. Those in the Islamic world who are not bent on world domination, who simply want to lead peaceful lives, they keep their mouths shut for fear of violence. They say nothing, they do nothing, and as a consequence, they are, ironically, inconsequential. They mean nothing. The only part of the Islamic world that interests us is the part that wants to destroy us, and Caroline Glick is correct. We in the West see it, we become deaf, dumb, and blind, we do absolutely nothing. It's a recipe for disaster, not just for Jewish people, for anyone who's not a Muslim. If you are a Christian, you are one of the people of the book, and you are also an infidel. Don't think that this is a Muslim-Jewish issue. It's not. It's a Muslim versus the world issue. And it's high time we realized we're in a fight, we're in a war, and we better start fighting it to win. Because if we keep playing games and sending out press releases and holding prayer vigils, and I'm going to play a video for you later in the show that's going to turn your stomach, hopefully like it turned mine. If we continue to play nice with the Islamic world, we're going to be plunged into a horror, another dark ages. Hard to believe now, unless you've got your eyes open and you see the gathering gloom. My friends, this is not some apocalyptic prediction of the future. It's happening now, and it's happening to us. I recommend we take action because, I don't know about you, I have no intention of being a victim. My name's Howard Real. We're kicking off a brand new week here on Real Truth, and we'll be right back.